What is going on, Flesh and Blood players? I hope you all are having a wonderful Tuesday. I'm back with another episode this week. Last week we dipped out a little early, started feeling really bad, went to the hospital, had some ick, and luckily we're getting through that and persevering in a upwards direction. Have kind of lost my voice, so I apologize about that, but nevertheless, we're going to play some Fab, enjoy some games, and hopefully go over a couple of the fairly large fundamentals of the game that I feel like are kind of talked about a lot, but not necessarily understood the right way. And not saying that I'm going to be the best one to kind of demonstrate this, but hopefully we can do it in a manner to where you guys kind of understand a little bit more. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into a game here. So, our main goal of the evening is to discuss kind of three things. There is a lot of talk in Flesh and Blood about tempo. And I think up until recently, I've been really confused about what tempo kind of is. And I finally just kind of wrapped my head around it, so I wanted to talk to you guys about what it is as well. I don't know how many of you have played card games before, but in other card games, we have something that's, typically thrown around that's called card advantage. And it doesn't really happen as much. Oh, Lord, this is terrible. It doesn't happen as much in Flesh and Blood because we draw back up at the end of the turn, so there's no real metric of card advantage, but like in Magic where you're depreciating cards every turn, you're looking to change these two cards for ones. But it does still happen in Flesh and Blood. And that's going to be something that we're definitely going to be looking at today. Let me figure out what we're going to sideboard here for this Kano. How many more blues in my sideboard? This is sad. Just choke slams. And zealous. I don't think we're ever going to play it, but let's try that. So going back to what we're discussing, looking at tempo is literally looking at card advantage. So you have down tempo plays and up tempo plays, just like you have 2-for-1s and 1-for-2s, and in other card advantage based games. So what we're going to try to do today is kind of point out some of these big things that we're looking at. And what that basically means is if Kano plays one card and I use one card to cover it up, that's an equal tempo scenario. But if he plays two cards and I play one card, then it's card advantage for me, and vice versa, the opposite happens. So typically when someone's going up in tempo, the opponent is going down in tempo. So we're going to talk about that, like I said, while we're playing today, and hopefully by the end of this session we'll have a little bit better understanding of what tempo really means in Flesh and Blood. This is a Aether Spindle for 5, right? Wait a second, we need to go back. It's okay. We'll just AB3 this, that's fine. I wanted AB and Oasis Respite it, so he couldn't be able to opt, but it's alright, we'll just save the Oasis Respite for later. He's only going to be able to opt too. Oh, wonderful little Spinal Crush, the best card against Kano. Let's switch this here Spinal Crush for a Bleeding, and then we're going to Anathos him for 6. Let's go ahead and arsenal this Oasis Respite. He'll never know. Command and Conquer seems good. Seemed like a pretty good turn for Kano though. So Kano's goal here is going to be, I assume, just to try to go like super tall against us. We'll kind of see how it goes. We're going to be, this is a bad example of looking at tempo-based things, because we're definitely going to be playing our hands very inefficiently, because we want to keep more resources in our hand to be able to do things against this Kano here. To prevent damage. What was it, a sonic boom? Opting 2 off of the eye? I'm scared. Let's see what happens here. Is he gonna tunic Aether Flare? Or is he gonna tunic into Crucible? Yeah. So this Aether Flare is coming in for 2. We'll just AB to it with this here, Opposing Visage. Now, interesting, I mean, we can play a very, it depends on what Kano does here, but we might be able to play a very good line of throwing the Crippling Crush. Well, we could just die. We're at 38, so I feel pretty safe, but we'd have no cards in hand. And you'd have one, let's see, Aether Dart. Should be coming in for 1, we'll just AB it. So that was kind of an example there of being able to get tempo off of something. So he didn't cost us another card, and we just were able to get rid of 2 cards of his for 1 card. That would be an up-tempo play for us and a down-tempo play for the Kano here. Again, the concerning thing is like, do we go for the greedy line of Crippling Crush him? And I can't help to think that that's just too greedy of a line, so we're just going to pitch the Crippling Crush for the plate and then come in for Anthos for 6. As long as we keep this play pattern up, I mean, we're going to win. He's going to have to force something else. Because he, you know, isn't really able to do much to us right now. We're taking 2 cards out of his hand every turn, or he's taking damage. What's up, Kevin? How are you, sir? How was Vegas? I took a very non-aggressive line. I know it's not like me. Vegas was meh. I mean, I've kind of got the general consensus that it was meh. I know Taylor got like OTK'd round 1 by a Briar. He was not very happy about that. What just happened? Did he just Crucible pass? Okay. Yeah, no, that's what I've heard. I heard it was pretty wild. I hated it for him. What's up, Table Legs? How are you, sir? It's good to hear from you. Yeah, so we're talking about a couple of the fundamentals. Mainly right now, talking kind of about tempo, what it means in Flesh and Blood, since it's such a weird game compared to other card games. Oh yeah, no, I heard that he definitely got touched. I haven't been able to talk to him yet about it. I think he's still locking himself away. I don't like playing against Kano. I'm always terrified. We do have this Oasis in Arsenal, so I feel pretty comfortable right now with AB3 and an Oasis. And a handful of blues. Excuse me. So this is gonna come in for 4. If we AB3 this, he'll get +1 on whatever else he could do. He has 1 resource, that's fine. It's not gonna like Aether Wildfires from his arsenal on his turn. But he is gonna play the other Aether Flare. What? I'm cool taking 2 here. This way we get to still do our same thing, just tech plating, Anathos, go on. You got a judge called with 20 minutes left in the round. I mean, so if you're debating Striders, I'm assuming you're like less than 5 and he's probably at like 10 or 11. Maybe possibly a little bit higher if you were thinking so hard. And you got 20 minutes left in the round? Yeah, 1 to 5. Yeah, so see, like, I mean, what the heck? That's crazy, man. Yeah, completely understandable. Dromai likes to do weird things, you know? It wasn't Mara, was it? I forgot what this card does. Okay, so you get to as an action destroy it and they can't do something. So he's gonna destroy it and name Oasis Respite, and then we won't be able to play it. Oh, okay. I know Taylor decided that he was gonna play Dromai, and played like 4 games of it and was like, nah man, this is not for me. I'm not playing this. Do you have any ideas, Kevin, what you want to play for ProQuest season coming up? Really wish I had a pummel here. Crucible. Swell Tidings for 6. If it does more damage, he gets a Ponder token. I don't think that's relevant here. Yeah. That's fine, he can get a Ponder token. He might play his Arsenal? Yeah. I don't know how Ice is going to be though, because Bright Lights is going to be here. So like, I anticipate that I should have a little bit of difficulty, but I don't know. I've been thinking about blowing the dust off of Ice here recently. Mainly because she's just been bringing up so much. Yeah. But also, I'm totally, you know, a nerd at heart, so I'm totally cool to play Mr. Tesla over there. No, I agree. Icelander, I think, is probably one of the best decks to play. Except for the mirror. I absolutely hate the mirror. And I loved it before Amulet of Ice got banned. But then once Amulet got banned, I was like, man, this is Garbo. I hate it. I don't understand it. I feel like it's just whoever Striders first loses. Which is just rough to me. That's oof. Was it a Katsu or was it like a Katsu? It was like pouncing links into the one thing to do like infinite damage. And you're just like, nah, here's a Frostbite or a Blizzard. Dishonor, okay. Dishonor does seem pretty good. Man, no, so in Baltimore, I got double Dishonored 8 Art of Ward on Azalea like turn 1. And I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to be dominating arrows anymore in this game. We've got to do something else to get some damage in here. And turn into just surging. Oof! Oh, you know that hurt. Did he cry a little bit? I would have cried a little bit. Probably should have kept that spine while I wasn't paying attention. Dude, Resolution Step is my favorite place to play. as Icelander. And I'll never forget, I think it was like PQ in Charlotte. And Matt W was like, you can't play that Blizzard here. And I was like, oh, no, I definitely can. I will totally do this. Eat you for breakfast. Dang. Anthos only going to be 4. Oof. I clicked the wrong card last turn. I feel like, I mean, honestly, at this point, is it just a viable strategy to fatigue Kano? Yeah, no, definitely was a misplay there. I should have been able to end at this for 6 there, but he still blocked 6, so luckily we were able to still get value out of it. I mean, yeah, like I said, I may just continue to fatigue this Kano here. I feel like they're gonna Imperial Edict something that's gonna hurt. He hasn't seen any Oasis, so he definitely doesn't know that we have them. We'll definitely do this, though. Look at us playing our hands inefficiently to keep resources. So we should be doing at least, I mean, theoretically, I guess 4. I don't see any reason why he would block with Tunic here, and I don't know Kano to play D-Reacts. But who knows? Maybe it's some new Battle Mage again. We shall see. Dude, see, no, Kevin, that was like the good days of Lexi. But now they're just like, oh, I don't care. I 3 of a kind. Doesn't matter. I don't know, did a Volcano make top 8? I know Vor was like doing really good, and I assume he was playing Kano. But I did not actually look to see. And I didn't see him on stream, so. That stream was so weird though. It made me really respect Savage Beats, because I just thought this stream was dark the entire time. Uh-oh. Why is he Imperial eating us right now? What does he think he's gonna do with 1 card? Oh, he just wanted to get rid of it. Oh, wait, this last time my turn? Oh, it's the start of your next turn. Huh, seems good. I mean, so I really just want to do the Chad move. Yeah, I really just want to do the Chad move and just pass turn back to him. I could just keep my AB9. 10, I guess. I should have played Warmongers. That might have also been a misplay. I guess he just calls peace and doesn't care, yeah. What was it? Aether Wildfire off the top? Who would have guessed? Did we just die here? Like, so he's gonna Wildfire first. Does he wait until the EPI result? Yeah, I was gonna say. No, we can't Oasis. So Wildfire is gonna come in for 5. We can AV3, that's 2 for the turn. He's got 1 Kano trigger and 1 card left. Wait, did he not Crucible? It seems bad. Yeah, now we'll swing hammer at him. Watch him kill us now. Now that I think he's out of stuff. I have no clue what he was anticipating to do there. But okay, that's, yeah, that's Kanon for you, I guess. I just quit. Okay, to be expected. I have no clue what he wanted to do. I mean, because he had set up his pitch deck, so he knew what was on top. I guess I don't know why he didn't activate Crucible, but yeah, there's the thing. All right, so it wasn't the best game for us to evaluate up tempo and down tempo plays. So hopefully we can see that in maybe this next game if we don't find another Kano here. So we were talking earlier, Kevin, about how tempo is a word that's thrown around in Flesh and Blood a lot, and I personally don't feel like there seems to be a lot of people that grasp what it is. And for me, and maybe I'm wrong on this as well, but for me, the most closely, oh my god, this is just as bad. Why does everyone hate me today? Let's go a second. I think we have to be the aggressor in this match. So we're gonna play Zealouses. We're gonna play Choke Slams. And we'll play a Sigil. And I feel like we're gonna go ahead and chalk this one up as a loss, guys. We'll see. Maybe not. It depends on how closely to Old Prism this is. Kip. The name sounds familiar. But yeah, so Kevin, we were talking, I don't even know if Kevin's here, but for me, the closest thing this kind of relates to is basically card advantage in other games, which is a lot more prevalent because you don't draw up at the end of your turn like you do in this game. So the cards in hand are the cards in hand. So you want to be trading like one card for two cards whenever possible. And I was explaining that that would be a up tempo play. And then for the person who's receiving, that would be a down tempo play because they're, I guess down tempo would be trading two cards for one card. What did they just do? Pitched to Herald of Protection and played an Ode to Wraith. Ode to Wraith. Well, we're gonna have a super easy turn, which is gonna be tech plating into Anathos, Ode to Wraith. Let's clear these guys off. Why did I not pitch? I pitched the wrong card. I wasn't paying attention. It's twice tonight I've not been paying attention to my pitches. So we're pretty happy to get rid of this Grandeur automatically. Chokeslam Pummel, maybe? It's a copy of an aura you control if we pop it. That's fine. We'll let him get another parable. We're gonna end up clearing these parables off anyway. Oh wait, it doesn't block anyways, because yeah. Parable. Dang, got us. Oof. Well, hope we buckled in because we're going to go for the long one again. Again, I think in this game we're going to see a lot of inefficient hands. In my opinion, our main goal is to try to get damage in wherever we can. But more importantly, just keep these permanents off of the board, especially the big ones. So let's pop this with a Cranial Crush. Oh, he gets to do something now that gives him footsteps, right? Okay, so he pays one with footsteps, then gets to come again, so that's cool. We'll pop this one with a Metamorph. I mean, with a Thunderquake. And then I think we say pitch for plating, Athos for showtime, F-Face. So arguably, maybe we should run Tunic in this matchup, just because plating does give them the Seismic Surge priority window to play Arclight. I think this is a weird place kind of to be playing Arclight. I guess it's end of turn, so he wants to do this, but can't we just... Oh no, it doesn't. It has Spectra, it doesn't have Phantasm. Okay. Cool. So our hand's gonna be Garbo. Let's just block this for 3. Try to preserve life as much as possible. And then now we're gonna say, cool, we might as well make another tech plating or a surge. He's already got an Arclight Sentinel out. And then pop this one at the Arclight Sentinel. Oh, got a pitch of the card. Kevin, I have another question for you. Just curious about something. I think I know how it would resolve. If I was playing a ranger and I used Hornet Sting here and we revealed an arrow, we would do 1 and then that should pop the Spectral Shield, right? Because yeah, the Hornet Sting says when defending. Interesting. Okay, side note. Hornet Sting broken against Prism? Probably not. Do 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 do. So I feel like this guy is coming off fairly strong as an aggressor, so I'm pretty comfortable sitting back into this role of kind of playing the very defensive Guardian, which I don't think would have happened with Old Prism at all. Like, I think Old Prism would have just riddled us with auras by now, and maybe he just hasn't seen them. But we've seen a couple of them, been able to pop them and clear them off, which is basically what we're just going to try to keep doing. Damn Spectral Shield is doing work, son. I'm trying to think, because there's a line here that we can tear asunder and make a plating, but I feel like that's really greedy because if you Arclight Sentinels us, we're just so barred. We've only seen no one. Oh, there's one pitch there, so that's 2. So this makes me feel like he probably has one, so we're gonna play the safer route. Just gonna pop this. Fierce reality. And we were setting up for like a late game. That was the whole purpose of the Cranial Crush. What you call it? Awaken. God, what is it called? I can't think of it. The show 13 or higher gets 7 go again. This spectral shield is just becoming a pain in our hands. Who knew? Spectral shield, most broken thing they have. He's still sitting on this arsenal for a long time, so I still feel like he's waiting for an opportunity to Arclight Sentinel us and throw us into a bus here. So I'm still just going to keep playing Clearing Out Ores. That's why I'm not playing the Tectonic Plating. Maybe the wrong play here, but we'll see. We're going to get something out eventually against this guy. Footsteps, please a passing mirage. And we say, okay, cool. We see your passing mirage, we'll bop it again. The luxury is that we're conserving cards here. That's kind of an up-tempo play in its own sense there. We're just pitching one card. It's not actually, we're not losing a card from our deck to destroy something that he's going to be losing. I know if I take this, that he's going to have something else to throw on the backside. So let's keep the same turn. Like, I mean, he's taking us down for 1 each turn. It's basically like we're playing Old Prism with one thing. Does have... Oh no, we got rid of our popper. Sorry, we'll give him this CNC. I think it's worth it. Alright, let's go for his face here. It's still only going to be 4, but it gets that pummel out of our hand. If it hits, we finally get rid of the stupid Spectral Shield. Nope. We block one with command and conquer. Yep, this is our last one. Ugh. Same thing over and over again. Hey, we finally get to swing. So this is another thing here. This is a momentum play that we're going to go for. We're not going to do the tech plating just because I don't want to get Arclight Sentineled. This is our last command and conquer, unfortunately, because we've been blocking with them. But this should hopefully give us enough of a tempo change for us to try to gain momentum here. So let's see. That was by the way, that was a perfect up-tempo play. So 1 card for 2 of his cards. And then now, yeah, so see, we're going to give him... Dang, this hand makes me sad. – If we take 7, we can send back, but that seems bad because he's got that arsenal. That seems like a really bad play. Let's pitch so we make another 6. So if he doesn't have a soul shield, he's either going to give us 2 cards or he's going to lose his spectral shields. But he may have a soul shield in arsenal too. This may be, yeah. Oh, he's just got a soul shield in hand. It's okay. Alright, so we're gonna take this form. And we're gonna say Zealous into Chokeslam. There is the possibility that he like Arc Light Sentinels is in between. But if he does, we still get to hammer. So like that's the question. Is it worth Chokeslam for 8? Sure. Browse the Ancients. It just came to me. It was something with Ancients. Oh, like this is the card. That's probably why I just remembered it. So we're gonna get rid of Genesis. It's the bigger threat. We have no way to generate another one to get rid of it. Get rid of the Showtime. And wait, you got masters in lore. Wait, first off, we have a lot of questions from this here, Mr. Tables and Legs. One, if you're playing Legends of Runeterra, I have no clue what this is. This is gonna make me seem like a terrible flesh and blood person if that has something to do with it, but I have no clue what. No, I have no clue. Please shed light into the situation of what Legends of Runeterra is, because yeah, I got nothing, Smalls. And then we have to talk about UPF. Oh, okay. So it's a League of Legends card game. Alright, listen. I already have an addiction to cardboard that is terrible. Back when I was younger, I also had an atrocious addiction to League of Legends. And look, I try my best. No, this is what they say. They say it's fully free, and then they make something like super awesome and amazing, and you're just like, man, I really want that. I'll spend $5. And the next thing you know, before you know what happened, you look at your bank account and you're like, did I just get paid today? Where did it all go? Oh, let me guess. What is it, Riot Games or whatever it is that makes League of Legends still? And you're like, huh, there it is. I've seen this ploy. I know it, trust me. It happened to me. It's happened to other people. I know it has. It's a scary, terrifying incident. He's just to keep on swinging for 4 with these spectral shields. It's terrifying. We've got to do something to get rid of them. Spectral shields broken. Heard it here first. The good news is if we can get rid of this last haze bending, then... Alright, I will try it just because you're super cool and I trust your evaluation of this game. I'm telling you though, I'm gonna cry. When my bank account's empty and my wife is angry at me, I'm gonna come back to you and be like, you brought this upon us all. You have brought us great dishonor. Let's see. Do we block for? No. See, it's always skins. That's what they do. It makes it look beautiful. It makes them look seductive or whatever. Like that. I'll never forget that Ash skin that came out, and I was like, man, I gotta get that. She looks fly. Showing my age, saying a word like fly. I might as well be in Back to the Future here. But see, no, I don't have that ability to say that. I spend countless amounts of money on stupid skins, and I can't control myself. Trust me, if I could, I would. All right, we're gonna take this for or not. All right, it's fine. We'll let them have the passing mirage. We have to get rid of these fucking Prism free win. No, man. These stupid spectral shields I can't pop. They come in for 4. Hopefully we should be able to pop all of them here, unless she just gives us the hand. And if that's the case, then we'll just try to go. That's what we were trying to do. We were going with the fatigue route. Everything was going great. And then she played like 3 haze bendings back to back to back. And yeah, now we're just getting ridiculous amounts of spectral shields here. I mean, that's cool. You can Arclight Sentinel me. It's fine. I'm still taking all your spectral shields and doing damage to you. Like, and then I get to time walk, basically. I'm cool with that. I'll say, cool, attack into Grandeur. This means that we've started into our secondary run here. Ladies and gents. Bring on the blues. There's some reds here somewhere though. We don't have Phantasm because of Passing Mirage. So we'll block 6. Ode. Yeah, it gives them go again. That's what. I don't know what it's gonna do with it, but okay. Let's get rid of this Passing Mirage so we can Phantasm stuff again. I think that's the 3rd. Nope, has one more fan. One more somewhere, and one more card like that. We got all the showtimes, guys. Oh, there's the other Passing Mirage. Interesting goal playing a Passing Mirage there. But okay. I don't really want to give a popper here. See if we can draw a blue. Nope. Three, four, 6, 7. I guess we could get whatever the Parable of Humility or whatever it is. Hey, why? Is that Herald not? Wait a second. What? What just happened? Oh, they have -1. Whoops, that's a misplay. That might cost us the game. I got another stupid fucking Spectral Shield. Dang, son. Oh, oof. Had plenty of poppers in hand and popped with the wrong card. Rough. What's up? Who be that?
It's Bryce.
What's up, Bryce? I couldn't even hardly tell you by your voice. We're trying to survive long enough against this stupid Prism. Bravo.
Are you playing right now?
I am.
You should stream it. I'll watch it.
Oh, let me see here.
I'm beating my head against the wall trying to be a Kano master.
We played a Kano earlier that like did the weirdest line I've ever seen, and like popped 2 E-Pots, played Aether Wildfire. Oh, he popped Imperial Ledger, said Oasis, popped 2 E-Pots, played Aether Wildfire. We AB3'd, and then he was like, "Cool, in the game." We were like, "What?" It was, yeah, absurd. I really want to do. I think that's the play. I think we take this 4. And then we just Crippling Crush pummel them.
Seems good.
Hopefully, anyways. We shall see. We've got 1 more Arclight Sentinel, which doesn't really matter here. We were doing absolutely great until they
You might not even have enough blocking cards. It is Prism.
It is true. It is true. Yeah, no, we were doing phenomenal until they played 3 Haze Bendings back to back and got like 5 Spectral Shields that we couldn't pop. Because Iris of Reality makes Spectral Shields hurt pretty bad. So the question is, that's been going around stream, is do you know what Legends of Runeterra is?
The only thing I know about it is that Majin Bay plays it.
Oh, okay. So Majin Bay plays it, and Table of Legs plays it, so it's got to be a good game, right? So, no, I was having this conversation with the guys on the stream that I have no desire to play this game because I am a sucker for buying stupid skins, and then I lose all my money. Do we save the pummel?
No, you pummel it.
Like, this just seems like a lot of disruption, but we are like 3, so like, watch them. They're gonna Fate Foreseen Soul Shield this into another Soul Shield. We're gonna cry.
Well, they're still gonna have to discard a card.
They still gotta discard, yeah.
And a Spectral Shield.
So they'll lose.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Not as good as what we wanted it to be, but here's these stupid Spectral Shields.
pummel.
I'd cry, dude.
Oh, they get go again. Fuck.
Yeah, they're 4 go again. It's all right. We're gonna give him both of these, and then we're gonna Anathos pummel, and hopefully get rid of the spectral shields, and then we should be good to win this game.
Don't you want to pay 1 to make a seismic? Does that cost 1?
It does. No, I could, but he might Arclight Sentinel us in response to it.
Oh.
Because there is 1 more Arclight running around. I guess if he has a Soul Shield, we're screwed here. I think there's 1. Oh no, he just played a Genesis. That's fine.
There you go. There you go. The thing is, he's got no arsenal, so if he plays the Arclight in response to you doing anything, he can't do anything on his turn. So, so I say I see you make your seismics and you get on the front foot.
I'm concerned about that Genesis though, but maybe, I don't know.
Well, he's got to have cards in his hand to do anything with it. So
That is true. That is true. Because is it 6 for Arclight?
Arclight is 6, yeah. I would just throw the spinal.
That's what I'm gonna do. I was trying to figure out if there was a way that I could do something cheesier, but no.
You got yeah. He's got a bunch of.
Hopefully he's got a handful of 2 blocks or no blocks. Sounds good. No, it's a Soul Shield.
Oh no, we suck again.
Do 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 do.
I block with Imposing Visage first.
This,
right?
yeah.
Tear Ass is the best card ever. Oh, punished. Damn, we suck.
We do. Broken.
Oh, you could dominate Spinal. No, you can't. How does math work? You could dominate Spinal if you could block 3, take 1, and then dominate Spinal.
Yeah.
Right? And then he would have to have. He'd have to. It would take his Spectral Shield. And it would hurt.
Yeah, we still have 1. Arclight Sentinel, and we cry. Hopefully. Yeah, I was gonna say then that's just game. Oh no, I guess he can block with. No, you can't. Yeah, yeah, footsteps.
And then take the Spectral Shield. Oh, and again, it puts us in the same lock. Okay. Then he's gonna do a thing.
These stupid Soul Shields.
It's alright. He won't draw another blue. That's what we're hoping. So you got block 5.
Yeah.
If he swings the other one, you lose anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he sucks. Take out Genesis right now. It was always our mistake.
I feel like
Take out Genesis.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was trying to think of if we should do something.
We're probably about 10 games too late for that. But I mean, 10 turns too late for that.
No, I do want to skip. Oh, of course. Ugh.
You want to block with your not popper so you can pop his ass.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. We've already popped so much.
Die.
Alright, let's read this card. This is what cost me. Yeah, I didn't realize it gave -1 last time. And it cost me all the advantage that I had.
Alright, now we just swing.
Boom.
Now you deck him out. What just happened? Oh, you took one.
I was gonna say, wait, he just cast a figment? Okay, cool. We win! Yeah! Alright, so hold on a second. I'm being asked to play this Legends of Runeterra. Is this a web-based game? How do you do this? You gonna make me download something on my computer? Oh my god. It is Riot Games. Oh, this looks exactly like Hearthstone. I even get crystals? Is it just as random as Hearthstone? Oh gosh. Alright, this is what's up, Table of Legs. We will definitely download this, get everything ready, and play a game next time. Because this looks like a lot of work. I don't know if I've got the capabilities of doing that today. Ugh. Off. Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I'll play a game next time on stream, Table. What were you saying, Bryce?
You want to play against a Kano?
Oh my gosh, we already played against the Kano, but yeah, we'll play against the Kano again if you want to. I will send you a message. So the goal of today that we were trying to talk about was up-tempo and down-tempo plays, and I feel like Kano and Prism both don't really illustrate up-tempo and down-tempo plays because they do absolutely terrible. And cause you to have like inefficient hand plays. Does that make this private? Nope.
Oh, I should get out of here.
You should get out of here.
Stop watching your stream.
Oh yeah. You can if you want to. Let me see if I can find an invite. Bryce, the man, the myth, the legend. Where are you at on here? All right. Let's play another Kano. Make me cry.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, I don't know, you play more Kano than I do.
I suck.
I don't believe that at all. But I feel like one, I don't know if I want to go first or second. We'll go second. Sounds great. But I feel like two, I just try to hit you with hammer, right? Like that's my goal in life.
I think, and I'm trying to catch you with no resources in hand.
Okay.
And pull your back up. So you've got AB3.
I played an amazing game, I think last week on stream, where I was playing Azalea and I didn't select a bow. Didn't even know that was possible to play Ranger with no bow. But yeah, it definitely is. It's absolutely terrible in case you're wondering.
Oh, that took my action point. Fuck. See, I told you I was bad.
At least you're just like every other Kano that I know. That's not what I want. Let me undo it.
Alright, where's a good thing at? Ah, here we go. That should be coming in for 4.
Yep, it is. I feel like Warmongers does nothing against you, right? Because you just get to play your action. You call peace and then just go ham. Like Chain Lightning.
Oh yeah. This is my pet wizard card. can play my next wizard non-attack as an instant. Alright, you gotta be running out of
I got blues for days, sir.
Let's see, should I go get more blues for days though? Nah, we'll just play this.
And you get to play this as instant because of Chain Lightning, right?
Yeah, because Chain Lightning's busted. Alright. We got Aether Dart. We got through 3. We'll take that.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It only costs us everything.
So yeah, I'm just gonna go the same play pattern that we were doing last time and see how well it works for us. Dang, that was a bad pitch. It's alright. E-Pot? Kano plays E-Pots? What? Broken. Alright, so this is your only goal. If you find a good up-tempo or down-tempo example, we have to illustrate it.
Okay.
Because aside from like CNCs in this playset, I don't really know. There's not a lot of value to be gained, I feel like, on the cards that I play in this matchup.
I'm gonna show you an up-tempo play.
An up-tempo play? I feel like I could hit your E-Pots.
That would be cool.
It'd be super cool.
Oh, Sigil. Gotcha.
Wait, who plays Centering Foresight?
Bad Kano players, I guess.
It's been so long I've seen this card. So you get to opt, and then the next card you play this turn with effect it deals arcane damage and deals. So it just gets +1.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
So let's search for our good cards. And then. So.
This was op 3 actually.
Yep.
Oh. Ah, it gets 1 from the Cindering, doesn't it? Oof. That was a misplay. Whoops.
I'll just give you this little guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a pretty big misplay on our part. See, that's what happens when you play cards that people don't know. Hey, that's the name of the game, is misplays, man. 100%. Did you see the interview with Michael Fang when he was talking about like what it is to make top 8 at big events? And he's like, basically, you got to go X and 2. And it's X2 because one, you get to lose to variance, and the other one you get to lose to a small misplay. But in anything else from that, you're out of top cut. I was like, dude, that's genius.
There we go. Now we're playing the game. Okay. What's the best way to do this? Do I get blown up by this? Foreign card and
Storm Striders? What? I'm terrified.
again. Miscounted. Fuck. Oh, it didn't let me, or can we go back? It didn't let me do the Metacarpus.
I think we'll have to go back to the start of this turn, which we can do.
We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Even though that cost me a lot of damage. That's whack. No use to tutor. But now I can pitch stack this beautiful blazing aether with a tome of Fiendal.
Hey, so hold on a second. Can you just kill me?
No.
If
I had one more card, I could have killed you.
Can't you E-pot? Go get a lesson me again, to go get a lesson me again, then get the blazing ether?
No, I don't have that much resources.
Oh, blazing ether's free, right?
Why? Yeah, but I don't have any resources.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah, I'm on the same page with you. Cool.
It's all right. We got a little poke in there. So we want tome, Aether Dart, blazing sap.
I thought you had like 3 floating. Okay. Man, I want to be super greedy, but I feel like that's bad.
sucks.
I am mortified.
These blue attacks suck. It's okay though. Watch me win without Storm Striders. Ooh,
Probably.
he didn't do anything. That's fine. Let's see.
Oh my.
Start there.
This is no bueno.
That card sucks. Sure. Take one. Oh wait, no, that was not smart. I should have not done that. I should have made you keep that red.
Man, where are all these Aether Spindles coming from, bro? Is Chain Lightning safe from hand or
Chain Lightning is. I only
anywhere?
have one in the deck, so you can read it.
Okay, cool.
It says you can play your next wizard non-attack action as instant, so it can be hand, arsenal, whatever. That right. Give me that. We're gonna kill you without Storm Striders.
Yeah, if I keep drawing these hands, you will.
Caught you on one card. Let's see what that does. That means this is all gravy, huh? Man. You got lucky.
Yeah.
2 1.
I am mortified. You have 3 pots.
Hmm. All right, this could be it here. Hmm.
um, decisions.
Where's this? Ooh, very nice. We will absolutely banish that.
Good game, sir.
Good game.
Oh,
We did it.
it was absolutely terrible, man. I drew like 3 consecutive hands of like red, 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 yellow.
I didn't even get to my pitch stack. I was looking for it.
I saw you pitch the like the Aether Wildfire and the Lost in Lava. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not gonna be good.
So I pitched Blazing Aether, Tome of Fiendel, 2 blues, and then Aether Wildfire.
Okay.
So if I ever got back to that tome, it would be game.
I got you.
Just didn't get there.
So then, as a Kano player, do you think it's better to take a slower game as Bravo, or should I be the aggressor and just keep pounding your face in?
You have to set up some kind of pressure, and then you want to set up CNC pummel.
Yeah.
Probably is probably what you're normally working for.
Okay. It's understandable. No, because it was just, I mean, that was a weird game because of some like variance in hands, but like still, even then, I felt like you were a lot more aggressive on your turn, which was causing problems for me on my turn.
Yeah, that's what Kano has to do is he has to like go into I have to like use a full hand on my turn and present a lot of damage,
Okay.
make you block it, and then when you go into your turn, you don't have any cards to block arcane damage, and that's kind of when the damage actually gets through.
No, that's understandable. So, I got you.
All right. I am about to go to sleep. So.
That is completely understandable. Well, thanks for the game, sir.
Yep.
You take care, my friend. I'll see you soon.
You do.
Bryce, are you still there? No, he left. I'm gonna ask him another question, but he already left. Okay. Well, guys, let's play one more game and see what happens. Sorry, it's really hard for me to talk about gameplay while I'm playing with someone else that's on the stream. Because then it's just, they get to hear everything that's going on, which is very unfortunate. But yeah, no, I think we ran into like a really red-heavy section, but we were not doing very well at keeping that game on pace anyways. So it seemed like Kano kind of took momentum at the beginning and then just kept it the entire game. Which does bring us to our next point, which I guess is momentum in general. So I think that people, again, we were talking about tempo earlier, about up-tempo and down-tempo plays. But I also think that people use tempo again to talk about which hero is kind of has tempo at that time. And I think that also caused a lot of confusion between understanding these two kind of things because we're using the same definition or the same word for two different definitions. So I do think it's better. I heard someone refer to the hero aspect of it as momentum. And I think that's a better way of looking at it, that there's tempo that's happening between card advantage and there's momentum of, you know, which hero is implying the most value at that time. That's gaining momentum to be able to do stuff. So while we're waiting on this other hero, I like to try to think of it as kind of like a seesaw. So depending if I'm the aggressor or not, you know, I may start and try to put momentum in my favor where the ball is rolling downhill to my opponent. And it's the opponent's objective, if that's the case, to try to bring that seesaw back up some to either level the ball out or push it back on my side. That's what we're going to see from like the control heavy fatigue decks, is to be able to combat that. That's part of the reason why I think I like Bravo though, is he's capable, he fills the mid-range very well in my opinion. So he's able to be like full control, or not full control, but heavy control. He's also able to be a fairly good aggressor when need be. I just realized that we probably still are private. We'd have all day to talk. Yes, we are. Let's try this again. Might work better. We'll find a new opponent that way. Azuri. I'm pretty sure Azuri is just a better Bravo, so that's not good for us. Just gonna run all RD reacts in Oasis. I feel pretty comfortable running 62 cards into Azuri. She's probably gonna, you know, play us mid-rangey as well. Key things about this match is to see, like, again, going back to momentum, is who is the aggressor at the time and who's able to push that. Because this is going to be, even though we're both playing very mid-rangey decks, one of us is definitely going to be an aggressor and one of us is going to be trying to control the match some. Not to say that it won't change throughout the course of the game. It definitely does. It kind of flip-flops back and forth sometimes. Sometimes somebody just stays the aggressor the entire time and keeps momentum. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate. What's it gonna be? Wild. Wild. So no contract. Just trying to mill us, I guess? Okay. Interesting. Let's see what they name. Yeah. I mean, it's damage. It feels weird though. It feels weird to do that turn 0. Because the momentum that they gain from that, so they just lose. So, this is another, in my opinion, I think a classic example of like an up tempo. So, we have an 11 value that's going to be threatening 2 cards, so we could say 16 value. It's just gonna block. I'm so confused as to what's going on here. Okay. Oof, this hand's bad. If they don't do anything to us, then I guess we just tech plating Macho. Okay. It's another weird shakedown in my opinion. I mean, I guess he doesn't know our hand. He calls red, unable to do anything. Yeah. So let's just send a Macho Grande. 8, dominate the old-fashioned way. The OG way. Okay. Interesting. Wild. Good old CNC. Give us 2 cards or lose your arsenal. One of the two. Gonna respite our CNC. Okay. Yes, it is interesting not Kano. And not Prism. Oof. I am intrigued by this play though. They're gonna respite our CNC and give us a card that leaves them with 2 cards, which I guess they're pretty happy about. Yeah. Interesting.
What are you doing in here?
What's up, dude? I am playing some games on the stream.
Nice. On which stream?
On the team stream. There you go, sir. You should be able to see it as well. It's Tuesday. We play games on team streams and we talk to Table of Legs and Kevin. Table of Legs is convincing us to play Legends of Runeterra. and hang up our fab life. Yeah.
You're streaming your OBS.
I just wanted to let you know. I wanted to let you know how cool it was, man. You know, yeah. That's
Oh, I see. I got you. Okay.
yeah. One day,
Pretty cool.
one day it will be so cool, right? There you go.
All right.
So-
I know what to follow. I didn't know we had a. I didn't know our team stream was a different name. I thought it was just the out of the box.
No, we have a team on Hitstream, bro.
Wow.
Heck, get with the
I'm
program.
involved.
Gosh. Try and decide if we want to
That's
block
me for
this.
sure. What are we playing today? We're playing Bravo.
We're playing some Bravo against some Missouri, and our goal today.
This is a rough matchup.
It is a rough matchup. Our goal today is discussing. Did you do 7 and not 5? Draw a card. Our goal today is discussing up tempo and down tempo plays.
Okay. All right. I'm for it.
Yeah. So
What's in your arsenal?
it's a CNC.
Oh.
So the question is, we're talking about, in my opinion, one of the topics that I brought up to the stream today was the confusion in relation to tempo being assigned to multiple different definitions. So a tempo, like people would be like, oh, Bravo's definitely got tempo in this match right now. I think that's kind of a, not necessarily a misnomer, but it is kind of misconstrued. You know, I'm starting it here. No, I actually think I heard this word somewhere else. I like to refer to that as momentum, and to me, I refer tempo as essentially card advantage. So, up tempo and down tempo plays. So, getting 2 cards for 1 and 1 cards for 2, so on and so forth. So that's what we've been trying to talk about today. But then, obviously, with my ADHD, I've forgotten multiple times. We've also played 2 Kanos and a Prism, which I again feel like is a terrible interpretation of showing that. You play like really weird turns.
Yeah.
So
you've played 3 games. It's been 2 Kanos and a Prism.
yes,
Who did you lose to?
we lost to the second Kano, which was Bryce. And I think the only reason, in my opinion, why we lost is we went into 3 consecutive hands of like 3 reds and a yellow.
Oh, you beat a Kano and you beat a Prism? That's actually impressive.
Yeah, we beat Kano first game and a Prism second game.
Those are like literally 3 of your worst matchups ever.
Yeah, so I mean, the Prism's not terrible. You just gotta like run the fatigue route and just play the long game. But Iris of Reality and Soul Shield is a real deal. Or Spectral Shield, sorry. It hurts. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That matchup makes me want to play the new Stand United card, or United We Stand, or whatever.
The Unity one that like does things.
Yeah, when you block with it and a card in hand, you get a Spectral Shield.
Yeah. No, yeah, no, I think the Prism came down to like 1 and 1. It was a very close game. Yeah.
So I guess to kind of talk about tempo, I guess, if you want to get back on topic.
Yeah.
I kind of don't think tempo really exists in this game until it exists for both players at the same time, and then it's a battle for control of it. And that's when you get to the point in the game where people actually have to care about using their cards to stop your opponent from doing things.
Okay.
I think a lot of the first 20 points of life, tempo doesn't matter. It's just people min-maxing the amount of damage and the amount of damage that they can deal or receive, or I'm sorry, deal or prevent. It's a numerical game, and then when you get to the last 15-ish points of life, where every hand is a hand that threatens your life total, you have to play a game that's tempo based in a way where you need to use your life total to pivot to a card advantage and then keep that card advantage until the rest of the game. And if you ever let your opponent have that card advantage back once you've tried to pivot, then you lose the game.
Okay. No, I mean, I could definitely, I definitely see the argument that you're making, or the not even necessarily the argument, the point that you're bringing up. Um, I would counter that with saying that this guy thinks it's gonna hit. Trying to decide if I want Oasis or Unmovable, and I think I Oasis here, so I can still do something on my turn.
I think people commonly misconstrue the concept of generating a lead in a game as generating tempo.
Yeah,
Like
and so
a life lead.
that was that's one of the things that we kind of brought up and we're discussing is like that I describe more as like momentum. It's not necessarily tempo. So momentum is constantly switching back and forth without the course of the game. Tempo, in my opinion, is directly like I played one card, you gave me two cards for it. I generated tempo off of that, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's. I mean, if you want to label it that way, because we're basically describing the same thing but using different words to describe it.
Now you listen. This is my elephant. And I'll describe it the way I want to.
I mean that's true. If you want to call you, if we're looking at the same elephant and you want to just describe it as different things, but what you mean is what we're both talking about, then I mean that is fine. Also, this match is going extremely favorable for you.
Yeah, we're kind of just trying to block smart and play effectively here. I mean, we did lose some value off of the Oasis Rust, but I guess I mean, I would have rather run Unmovable there, but then we couldn't do anything on our turn.
I'm surprised you're playing the Oasis. Are you just playing like 68 cards or something?
I'm playing 62 into Azuri. God, didn't we just get rid of this Unmovable? Now we got it again? Ugh. Again, I pass. It's saying no, you have to block. There is no option. I want to pass.
Your opponent DC'd.
Maybe. So yeah, no, so I understand your point that you're making there. My counter argument to what I was going to say before we went into all that was that I do agree that I think tempo is constantly, there is down tempo and up tempo plays throughout the entire course of the game. But I don't think it's relevant until you get to life total things. So just because I may play an up tempo play, especially like I think Azuri is a good standpoint. I can play an up tempo play that takes, one card for two cards or something, but Azuri doesn't care because Azuri's like I want to play off of two cards anyways. So like at that point, it's almost like an equal tempo thing. But there's definitely like situations against like 5, for example, you can be like, cool, give me 3 cards, and now you lost momentum, and I can just kind of hound you again from there. So it does happen periodically, I think, throughout the game, but I do agree with you that it's most relevant once you get to a lower life total. And I think that also is because you're using your life as a resource. So like your players are naturally saying, cool, I'm going to lose life for this, so I can do this in return. The problem is that, hey, we'll claim this victory. Go on to another game. The problem is that
oh, easy game.
Easy game, easy peasy. We'll take another win. Sounds great, right? I know. Yeah, I seem like every Tuesday that we play, which I guess it's because we're making the party and looking for people versus the opposite. But we always tend to find like our worst matchups.
I think tempo is just a term that's coined too heavily in other games to be able to be applied like completely accurately to Flesh and Blood, and I think that almost could have its own word. And a good example is a deck like Bravo and Azuri, where the goal is to play a math game and then try to disrupt your opponent using minimal amounts of cards necessary. And you can't really just say like, I played a Spinal Crush, I have tempo, because there's plenty of generic and common ways to not consider that tempo. And I mean like things like D-reacts and is a good start to preventing that, but also if you're leaking damage on your cycle and trying to gain quote unquote tempo back by presenting damage back, but the damage that you're presenting is less each turn cycle, you're losing the lead. You're not necessarily losing or gaining tempo, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so no, I think this is a very important thing that you kind of brought up that we should talk about, because I see this happen even with myself a lot. And it's a habit that I'm trying to do out, especially like, let's say I'm playing Azalea. I see big number, I'm like, this is awesome. I'm going to take whatever they throw at me and then send back a much bigger arrow. And I think this is a trap that a lot of heroes, players, whatever you want to call these people, fall into. Because what happens is cool, you take their 10, you send back 16, we'll say for example, it doesn't matter. They prevent 12 of it and take like 4, and then they come back with you, especially if you're playing against like Bravo. They're like, cool, I'll block 9, take whatever, swing hammer back at you again. And then you're literally in the exact same situation, except you're at a life deficit.
Right.
And you don't have that, that resource, that sweet, precious life resource to give up at a later date to be able to do something. So I think the big thing is, in regards to that, I think Talashar's down. I think the big thing in regards to that is, like, if you're sacrificing life to do something, you need to guarantee that it's going to be doing what it is that you want to do. It can't be a hypothetical. It can't be like, oh, okay, cool, I think this will do this. It has to be pretty much, this is going to happen. So let's say, like, for example, again, I will go back with Bravo. We've been playing Bravo all evening. I dominate Crippling Crush, and let's say I took X amount of life to do it. I have to guarantee that that own hit hits. If that own hit doesn't hit, I don't get the disruption that I needed, and now I've taken life for no reason.
Sure, I mean, for sure, yes. I think it's more that the goal less is that you need to like card for card value your opponent in terms of like describing tempo. I mean, obviously you want to outvalue your opponent card for card where possible, just as a core concept of the game. But I think if we're talking about like tempo specifically, both life totals have to move if you ever want to get to a point in time in the game where you are able to quote unquote have tempo. And if you're just like trying to minimize damage the entire game, even if being defensive is like typically more advantageous for your deck than it is to present any sort of offense, you still run risk of getting your life total to a low enough amount and your opponent's not moving enough to where it doesn't matter. You can no longer take damage to start dealing damage. And at that point, yeah, there's no possible way to quote unquote take tempo. So yeah, I mean, life parity is very important in that kind of battle if your goal is to try to take tempo. And decks like Uzuri and Bravo are typically pretty good at it because they have a large amount of defensiveness in their kit that they can use at once in order to pivot into an offensive disruption cycle.
Yeah, no, so that makes a lot of sense. I mean, again, though, I still think that we need to express for like new players out there that like falling into the trap of big numbers, good thing, usually isn't the most beneficial. Because like, let's say for example that like I can 4-card 12 on an offensive, but I can also 4-card 12 on defensive. For just about all of the heroes out there, it's better to spend the 12 to keep your life total to that point than to say, cool, I'm just gonna take X amount to 4-card 12 them. Like that to me is where we're talking about tempo of like, where am I sacrificing my life to gain card advantage against them? Because like they didn't present me with a relevant on hit. They didn't present me with something that I think is like atrocious. So instead, I'm going to take X amount of life to have an extra card in my hand to give card advantage to come in and do something else.
Yeah, well, a big skill in this game is being able to evaluate how much quote-unquote value you can get through each of your hands on different turn cycles and how evaluating how much value you get out of blocking versus or not blocking in a lot of situations. It's definitely like for like a majority of heroes, like playing to your 5-card hands is typically better, where you have exceptions with heroes like Uzuri and Bravo, where you want to get as much value out of all your cards, and sometimes the best way to do that is turning them sideways and blocking, and then later, you know, playing more offensively and disruptive at different moments. Whereas then you have heroes like Ninja, where the left side of the value of the card is always higher than the right side, so you need to just outnumber your opponent the whole game. In most of their scenarios.
Yeah, but so like I feel like you can't make the generic statement the left side of the value is higher than the right, because like although it may be higher than the printed value, there is relevant on hits. You're getting extra value from blocking strategically.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying you're playing Ninja, you should never block.
Yeah.
Ninja's notoriously good at blocking in a lot of like certain ways. However, like I mean, Phi specifically, statistically, you're going to look at your hand and say, okay, I can present 18 damage or I can block 8 damage, and you're gonna pick the 18 because that's a significant amount. Like, you're not gonna play against someone and they're gonna play a Heat Seeker, you know, a Lexi Heat Seeker that just says I get an extra card next turn, and think, okay, well I'm gonna sacrifice 12 damage on my turn so that you don't get 1 card, right? So that's just kind of the snap numerical value you can assign to it by playing it. If you don't know that, obviously that's something you have to like practice and learn and understand. I'm not saying I'll never block a Heat Seeker. I'm just saying in that scenario where I have 4 2 blocks in my hand, but 18 damage, or like an Art of War or something.
No. I mean, I do agree with what you're saying, but I mean, like, let's say, for example, that it's not just a Heat Seeker. Let's say it's a pre-med Heat Seeker. Okay, so now, like, you're blocking that for 8, but you're actually getting value of, 14? So, like, that's a completely different... I mean, that's, I think, what makes Flesh and Blood a very complicated game, is there is no, like, one-size-fits-all shoe. Every situation you have to look into, analyze, and kind of look at the implied value for the thing. And I think that's where tempo is coming from, is like, am I getting advantage out of my cards at this time? And if I am, then I'm generating tempo. And if you generate enough tempo, then you slowly generate momentum, and then you can kind of push things in your favor. Now, as we were discussing earlier, right, I don't think you were here, is that, I like to think of like momentum as like a seesaw, or like the ball on the wood, piece of wood that's like rolling back and forth. Like, it's constantly going and changing throughout the game, especially like depending on what the playstyle is. And that brings up a whole nother thing that I think it's vitally important for players, that as I start to learn more about this game and play more at a competitive level, is, hey, what is my role in this match? And I think that kind of maybe is going back to what you said of like Phi. Like, more often than not, Phi's role is, I'm the beatdown, I'm the aggro guy. It's up to them to slow me down. And so I think that's kind of like the big thing, because if they don't slow you down, then you just win the game.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Yeah, if an offensive deck like Ninja doesn't ever feel like its life or cards are being pressured and they get to just be as offensive as they want to, then yeah, that's absolutely the best scenario for them. Yeah,
and that's like where I'm saying is that, like, if I'm playing Bravo and I'm up against a Phi and I look at this Phi and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna be the aggressor. Like, I've probably already lost this game. Like, I have to play this game defensive until I can get something that's going to gain tempo and swing things back in my favor. And then that's where I say, like, it's not just attributed to being lower life totals. Like, we could be at 20 to 18 or something, and if I take damage for a dominate Spinal Crush, it's just going to devastate this Phi on their turn, basically time walk them to where they only get like 3 or 4 points of value. then that allows me to be able to gain this tempo and kind of take back over the game. So, well,
yeah, and I mean, I think that's a pretty good, blanket statement for majority of games. And I think a lot of the skill is really identifying the best moments to kind of put a foot down and push into one or the other strategies based on what's happening and what you need to be doing and evaluating your hand.
Yeah, no, I agree with this. But I think a lot of that also goes back to the fact of what we were saying earlier. Yeah, it still looks like Talishard's down. But it goes back to, there's a lot of things it kind of ties into, but one of the big ones I think again is going back to taking unnecessary damage, to be like, cool, I'm going to take this damage to do something really cool and try to push more damage back to you. I feel like that's always a very slippery slope that's usually going to end up in a loss situation for you, because you don't have say-so of how much damage your opponent's going to take. Like, that's up to them. It's their choice. And so, like, I think you have to have that in the back of your mind. And then the problem that I see is that people are like, oh man, I shouldn't have taken that 8 damage to do 10. I could have just blocked effectively, waited for some massive disruptive turn, then took the 8 damage, and then spin things back in my favor. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, it depends on the plan of your deck, and I mean, you kind of have to know, like, I mean, like I said, it all comes down to evaluation, because there's no deck that's right now, or I mean, you wouldn't want to play a game that's just vanilla. I present vanilla damage, you present vanilla blocking, and then we just interact and just try to play a numbers game. I mean, you're basically playing solitaire in like a really kind of weird, boring way.
Sir, I like to win. I'm totally cool playing solitaire and winning. Like, find me this game and I'll do it. If it's just pure number, no variance, no on hits, like, sounds good to me.
Yeah, but unfortunately it's not like that. But I mean, a lot of the game is a very numerical, battle, and it's kind of comes down to who can assign better numbers to their cards and read what numbers exist better. And also there's a lot of like I mean, there's a lot of game manipulation that's available in this game compared to other games that really can kind of skill check people. Things like pitch stacking and stuff, and card ordering and things like that. So
yeah, no, I mean, we won't get started on pitch stacking, but yeah, this is I mean,
I don't have you listened to the podcast with for our podcast where they talked about the concept of tempo? It was like a year ago.
No, I have not.
Back in December or something. They went over it, and it took like 50 minutes for what's his name, Bodie.
Roger Bodie.
Yeah, to explain the concept of tempo to Michael Hamilton, and Michael Hamilton was just like, "Yeah, I don't think tempo exists. I don't know. I don't understand what tempo is." It's like the whole this is like just after he won Worlds or something.
No, yeah,
it was just super funny.
But so I mean, for me at least, and this is my opinion of it, and could be wrong, take it for what it's worth, is that tempo is nothing but card advantage, and we see card advantage in every game. Flesh and Blood's difficult to analyze card advantage just because you draw up to 4 at the end of your turn. Whereas in other games, you just draw a single card at the beginning of your turn. But it's just like I was playing Lord Connor earlier, which is a great game. Highly recommend anybody to try and play it out. It's pretty fun. But like sponsored, hack. Watch out, girls. Here we come. No. The thing I was gonna say though is I'm playing with like my 9-year-old daughter, and I run out of cards and I'm like top decking, and then now my daughter is like getting board control and has card advantage. So like I'm slowly starting to lose this game. Now luckily I didn't lose, mainly because I'd never let her beat me because she's 9 years old. Like it's not gonna happen. But then secondarily, like luckily I was able to generate stuff and then be able to draw more cards and be able to do things. But that all goes back to what I'm saying with like Flesh and Blood, is there is, in my opinion, tempo in each hand that's doing things, and that's the question of however you want to describe it. If I play this, is this going to draw X amount of cards out of my opponent's hand? If it does, then, you know, what is its implied value? How much is that depreciating what they're going to be doing in return to me? Or if it doesn't, then it's putting them at a life disparity to where hopefully I can gain still more momentum. So like that's the big question.
I mean, I'm following along with what you're like, the concepts you're proposing, and I agree with like how they work and whatnot. I just don't agree that the word tempo or momentum really belongs in this game. Almost like at a level of like I said, like the concept of tempo in card games has existed like since like 1993 Magic. So like it's almost, this game's almost too different to adapt the same like philosophy of tempo, because in this game it's kind of more about the life lead that you generate or the life parity that you maintain and the card value per turn, and it's hard to say that that's tempo because, I mean, really, if the goal of the game, and we're playing, you know, if we're computers playing against each other and the goal that we assign them is just to get the most value that they think they can assign on each hand every single turn, like no matter what, then both players will have tempo simultaneously in this game, because I mean, by that logic, it's just whoever is doing the best math has tempo. But if, you know, two superhuman computer perfect players are doing it at the same time, then they both have tempo, and that's not really possible because of the whole concept of tempo is a biased concept. You know, both players can't have tempo, only one player can have tempo. So, the amount changes for sure, and you can assign like a numerical value to how much tempo someone has if you like really wanted to, like a 1 to 10 or something. But the concept of advantage in this game is so unique that it's basically just advantage, but you could describe it as something else if you wanted to. Like it, you know, like a 30-5 life lead is what I would consider a tempo advantage that a player has, because that now means that it doesn't matter if my next 6 hands are 5 value less than your hands, because I will still like beat you numerically because I have 25 more value of quote unquote tempo to beat you with.
So like, I mean, again, I think that we're kind of describing the same elephant just differently here, but I do disagree with you about the whole supercomputer thing. So like, even with two omniscient beings playing this game, there's going to be up tempo and down tempo plays. Now they may stay at an equal momentum. There may be no transfer of momentum between the two players, and they stay at a similar life parity, but there is going to be up tempo and down tempo plays. Like, you can't play this game without there being that. Like that's.
I don't think like an example. So I think if I play a card that has numerically higher physical damage than blocking damage, and you block with a card that has numerically higher defensive than it does, you know, offensive, I don't think that there's a tempo shift there. If both players use their hands to the most effectiveness, because we both get 4 cards every turn, right? I don't think that their tempo exists, because it's not. It's just you're basically just saying like take a deck of 52 cards. You get 4 cards, you get 4 cards. We both flip them. Whoever has the highest numerical value gets a couple points.
Yeah,
that's not really
so
tempo. That's just
first off, we both don't get 4 cards at the end of the turn, so that's one discrepancy there that I think needs to be pointed out. Because yes, if
we do both get 4 cards.
No, we both get 4 cards at the end of our significant turn. So case in point, it's impossible to gain tempo, or like almost exactly impossible to gain tempo turn 0. Like, because there is no bad thing associated with just losing cards and blocking. So like you don't lose cards out of your hand. There is no change of card advantage. You both draw back up to 4. So I agree 100%. Turn 0, there's hardly ever any change of tempo unless there's something that's like drastically done with like a dominate card that does something. But even then, it really has hardly no effect on tempo. This random Christmas song just started blaring in my ear while I'm playing or talking to you. But so
I can explain this on like a different way. Like fundamentally, we could play Flesh and Blood with a 52 card deck, where literally verbatim, we both draw 4 cards to start the game. I'll reveal a 1 card at a time, and you can reveal a card and either block with it or keep it in your hand, and we'll subtract the numerical value, and then you could just now. Just like Flesh and Blood, we both, I went first, I did 2 damage to you. Now we both draw up to 4 again. Now on your turn, you present a 7 of spades, and I block with a 4 of hearts. I take 3 damage. You can either present more damage or block more by holding the cards, and you're not generating. There's no tempo exchange because we're both just playing the best numerical game we can play.
You're right. In that exact situation, there is no tempo change. Like that's 100%. Trading 1 card for 1 card is not tempo change. Trading 1 card for 2 cards, however, is a tempo change. Like that.
Not if you get both of those cards back.
But you don't. But you don't get both those cards back. That's the situation. Like you have to go through your turn. No, you don't though, because like if I play something that's an up tempo play, so let's say I play CNC. And you throw 2 cards to block this CNC. Well, now you have 2 less cards to go on your turn for. So that was I generated tempo by playing this CNC because I took 2 cards out of your hand. That's an up tempo play. Like I don't think there's.
That's not entirely true because you had to pitch a card to play that card, so it is 2 cards you're using to present, and then I'm using 2 cards to defend it. So it's equal. It's card equal. However, I mean, you could get into the whole pitch argument. I mean, that's fine if you want to go that value and say you get a negligible amount of value more than me because I'm losing a card and you're gaining a card on the following cycle of the deck. We can talk about that another time. However, if I'm looking at my hand and the best numerical way I can use 2 cards, the other 2 cards in my hand is to put them sideways and block. You're not generating tempo because I'm just doing what I would do anyway.
No,
right?
But no, I still have to disagree though, because I still am. So the difference isn't that I'm pitching a card; it's the fact that at the end of my turn, I do draw back up. You have to go through your turn with 2 cards.
But you also had to either take damage or not do anything with those 2 cards that were like. I mean, a good example. So CNC and another card in your hand, right? You either had to take 6 damage to play those cards, right?
Yep.
Or I did nothing on my turn. If you want to, but in this, scenario where I would never do nothing on my turn, you're not generating. So what you're doing is you're just getting the best mathematical value out of your hand, right? So that's not tempo. That's just playing your cards at the most advantageous way to your own strategy.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there's no scenario where you would get to do that for free, like for 0. You know what I mean? Like no game would ever in Flesh and Blood should, like the goal is never to be at that moment where I don't threaten a card in your hand with whether it's physical damage or cane damage, whatever you want to call it, where I don't threaten you using your card in your hand and get nothing out of it.
So no, I mean, so I think maybe part of the issue is that we're not looking at this for the long-term thing, but I think this is also very compounding. So like I understand your argument that I had to take damage or do something, but let's say that I have 4 cards in hand. I block with 2 cards, keep 2 cards in hand, take, negligible damage for whatever it is. And then your assumption is that cool, I'm going to be able to keep a 4-card hand. He's not going to be able to do much on my turn, on his turn. So then I hit you with a CNC. That takes 2 cards back out of your hand.
I mean, I'm agreeing with the play pattern that you're presenting, but like let's say you took, I don't know, I blocked with 2 cards, okay, on your CNC.
Okay.
Now you draw your 4 cards. You have another CNC. Your
Okay.
plan for your turn is to block with 2 cards and play CNC. And I now play something on my 2 cards is like head jab. Okay, you block 3. And then snatch. Okay. So now you either take damage to play the turn that you're wanting to play, or you're giving up your turn of that plan and doing something else.
Yeah, so that right there is exactly why this is an up-tempo play. So either I'm having to decide to continue to do my turn, and so maybe you're just assuming that this is the same nomenclature of like optimizing value, but like the thing is that, you know, if I'm blocking your snatch, I'm actually gaining extra value and also gaining tempo on that on the defensive end. So if I give you 2 cards to block snatch, then I can be stopping an irrelevant on hit that could be worth X amount of value.
I mean, it depends on the situation, sure.
It does.
If I
No,
have a way to
and
give it go again or something, you know, to get my action point back, sure. But it's
it doesn't even matter if you give it go again. If you don't have an arsenal, I mean, that's worth 3 points of value.
Sure. So you're getting. So my 1 card is 7 points of value versus your 2 cards that are 6 points of value, right?
Yeah. So blocking with 2 cards at 6 gives me 4 points extra of value. So I mean, I think that we can.
1 point extra value, yes.
No, it gives me. Well, yeah, sorry, it gives me. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it gives me 1 point extra value.
It matches the value that I would be presenting.
Exactly. It's like no different than like if I give you CNC and you don't have an arsenal. Like you don't care. Like it's.
So the game doesn't change. You go to your turn and I have my full hand again. And then how exactly was that a up-tempo play for you? In what way does you having, you know, matching my value become a tempo play? Like how does that become tempo?
It doesn't. This became tempo for you now. Because now you're gonna have a 4-card hand where I can't do anything, basically.
But
so
you
now
could just take the damage.
I could, yeah, which is the problem. Like that's where that to me is what makes Flesh and Blood hard.
Design to me, I wouldn't say it a problem.
No. I'm not saying problem as it's like a problematic. I'm just saying that like the thing of Flesh and Blood that makes it difficult is that is you know where to do things. So like the problem is that I shouldn't have blocked the head jab for 3. I should have just taken the vanilla 3 damage, which is what most of us would have done. And so we just say, cool, I take this 3, and then I look for something, you know, relevant to try to get more value out of later on. Right. Because although we both did have a quote unquote up tempo play, actually you had the up tempo play, I had an increased value block, but you generated more momentum, so you get to continue your turn.
I had more tempo if you were able to advantageously use your cards to generate equal value to what I did.
Because tempo isn't looking at value, but is merely looking at card advantage. Like that is so the basis of tempo comes from chess, which is the fact of.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is, okay, because we agree that life is a resource, all you have to do in this moment now in order to have equal or similar tempo is to use your life as a resource to have quote unquote card advantage or card parity. And that's a skillful part of the game that it's every game all the time. But tempo in this scenario is so rapid and fluid, or actually I wouldn't even call it fluid. It's just so rapid, and how do I say, like,
I think you're melding multiple things together. Like I think we have to isolate.
I am. Yeah,
we have to isolate tempo by itself and define what tempo is.
Well, no, that's my point. Tempo in this game doesn't exist. It's a different concept.
I have to respectfully disagree because of the sheer fact that like tempo is a fundamental definition.
Disagree if you'd like.
No, you're a friend, so like I'm not gonna know. But like tempo has a fundamental definition that is applicable to this game. So like that, it's not to say that like now your interpretation of how you define tempo may be slightly different because you're trying to include like life disparity as well. That doesn't have anything to do with tempo. Tempo is, did I accomplish the move that I was trying to do a turn before? Did I accomplish the move the same turn that I thought I would? Or did I accomplish a move a turn later than what I was trying to do? And so all of that is directly related to card advantage. So like that is all tempo is. Now, your question of talking about like life has to go into what I'm referring to as momentum. Like that is a completely different thing. And I think this is where the problem is. This is why I was just talking about this today, is that people, it's not a misnomer, but it's an inappropriate definition of what they're calling tempo. They're calling tempo based off of looking at players, looking at how this is working, and they're saying, oh, well, Bravo has tempo right now. That's not appropriate. Bravo has momentum at this point in time. Like he has a something, either whether that's being life, whether that's being card advantage, if that's just being, you know, board state, something that's giving him a massive advantage to be able to say he has momentum and what they're calling tempo. That's not tempo. And the question, table and legs, that's a much easier question. It's just 42, okay? 100%. Like that doesn't even involve tempo, just 42. Does that make sense to you, Smitty? He's done. Smitty's done. He dropped the mic. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm done with this conversation. I didn't even want to come into this Discord for any reason.
No, I was listening to you talk about it while I go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. See, this is the thing. This is where you ponder it. You sit on the throne. You just sit there and you think, what is tempo?
What is tempo? Tempo is when I only have to wipe once.
No, that's just disgusting. Good night, table and legs. You have a wonderful night. We'll hopefully see you soon. Now that we know that one of our teammates only uses one piece of toilet paper,
Hold on.
if you smell something, look for Smitty.
Okay, hold on. Let's not misconstrue here. What I mean is, today's a good day, and I only had to wipe once. I only typically wipe once.
Oh, you're saying that, okay, so you're getting toilet paper advantage, is what you're implying.
Yes, I mean, I was, you know, taking a whiz. I wasn't, you know, dropping a deuce, but I wanted to make the joke about tempo, so.
Table and legs is agreeing. He's saying tempo doesn't exist. It's just a numbers game. He's done. He's getting out of here. He's gonna go rack some more people up for Family Feud or Fabby Feud, and he's 100% just going to give out great prizes and have a great game with other people. Speaking of games, let's see if Talishar's working again. Oof,
So,
it is.
tempo.
Yes.
I definitely like. I understand and agree with all of the concepts of what people call tempo in Flesh and Blood. I just don't agree that it should be called tempo, and that's mainly because it's just inherently different than a lot of like a good example is tempo in Magic. You don't often get to. I mean, you sometimes do in a lot of games, but not always. You don't often get to just say, I'm not going to let you kill my creatures or let you take my cards out of my hand. You can just go ahead and do damage to me and we'll move on. Where in Flesh and Blood, you have full control over the exact amount of damage you take. And you can pivot tempo in this game 30 times in one game, according to the typical definition of tempo. And I just don't think that that's what it should be called. And I don't think that's why it should be called tempo. I think it has way too much depth in this game to be labeled as that, basically.
All right, sorry. I was talking to someone else and I honestly didn't hear everything you just said. So can you go through that one more time for me?
I could.
But you're not going to.
I mean, fuck, man. I just said a whole bunch.
You
fucking dominate that choke slam, dude. You have a seismic surge, don't you?
No, wait, do I have it? How do I have a seismic surge?
Because you blocked with start.
Oh yeah, I did. So that's why.
You fucking tech plating, dominate choke slam, Arsenal CNC pass. Well, you got tech plating first.
I did tech plating.
Okay. Why are you playing Titan's Fist? And why aren't you activating? Oh, you did activate Bravo. Wait, no. Why did you activate Bravo?
Yes.
Okay. I can't see the effects. It's.
Why am I playing Titan's Fist and Steel Braid?
Yeah.
Because I'm playing this like slightly slower.
Oh, okay. Do all CNCs have that art, or is that just like an option?
It's the art if you play if you're a patron. So see, like right here, this is a perfect example that this is a up tempo play for Reinhardt, right? Because I had him in a 2-card hand. He's like, cool, either lose your arsenal or give me 2 cards, right? No ifs and buts about it.
I mean, I kind of disagree. You could just give him Crown of Providence.
I could have.
Up tempo play for you.
I could have, but I didn't want to.
By your logic.
I didn't want to because I want to get 2 seismic surges and give him a command and conquer. But that's a good example of why Crown of Providence is so good. Because it generates card advantage. It gives you another card in hand.
I think that just as a fundamental part of the game that we're supposed to be trading cards in this kind of value manner, that it's not necessarily just a tempo. I mean, I don't know. I like I said, I'm not disagreeing that playing CNC and getting 2 cards out of your hand is a card neutral or card advantaged play. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just saying it shouldn't be called tempo, because tempo in this game is just either doesn't exist or is way too complex.
What do you want us to call it?
I don't know. I haven't gotten to that part yet.
Alright, I got it. What about we call it Smimpo? Roll a 1.
Smimpo.
Damn, I was hoping he'd roll a 1. Ah, dang.
Wow, he insta-popped those fucking
Yeah, he did.
gloves. Holy shit. Man's going for beef. This is a no-block hand. You don't block anything.
I want to block stuff, though.
But you don't.
Why would you say this is a no-block hand?
Because you have a 4-card 13 on hit, discard a card. I mean, you could block with your, if you want to block, you could block with your crown and crown away your CNC and turn that into 5 value, but you're going to use your CNC the following turn to generate a seismic surge after your Spinal Crush Pummel turn.
We can't Spinal Crush Pummel, sir.
Yeah, you have 2 seismic surges, so your
Oh,
Spinal
I
Crush
figured we have a Starstruck over here. Yeah, no, I knew that.
Yeah,
I thought that we'd
that
already
comes back
blocked
in.
with a card.
Yeah. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to generate tempo, boys, and we're going to do that by taking 18 damage and then swinging 13 with on hit, discard a card.
Which I don't know if is necessarily the right play.
Well, the alternative is you block 8 damage and then do nothing on your turn.
Oof.
We're playing the numbers game here. I mean, you can't really do much. It's a Blood Rush Bellow, you know?
No, yeah, that's the thing.
Now the question is, yeah, you just fucking slammed the Spinal Crush. You know, you don't activate Bravo or anything.
No, that's what I was trying to decide.
Hmm.
Because he's got Scabby, so... But then we good enough. What the hell does this card do? Interesting.
When you defend with Pack Call, reveal the top card of your deck with 6 or more from it. That's weird. Holy shit, this is a big old fucking value.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he should see the pommel. He might have a defense reaction, but who cares?
Even if he does, it's only going to put him to 10.
Also, he's giving you the whole fridge here.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. So you can either play the unmovable, or you could take 5 and play the Spinal Crush and generate a Seismic Surge. Both of them are generators, so you don't really want Spinal Crush and CNC back to back. Like ideally, you have a Starstruck or a the Crippling Crush. I don't hate the idea of giving up Crown here.
No, we block 8.
But what is a Quicken token gonna do for you here?
I'll show you.
Are you gonna swing Titan's Fist for 4 and then and then play CNC?
Hell yeah, sir.
You're so lame. Oh man.
How is that lame? We got 18 points of value.
I mean, you spent all your armor on it.
No, I
can't really
didn't.
call that. You spent 5 points of armor.
That's why we're playing the fridge, bro. This is do stuff like that.
Sure, I guess. I mean, I like the play. It's cool, but I don't know if I would have done it. What's an arsenal? Spinal?
Yeah.
You block with 2 cards here. Unless you want to arsenal Terra Sunder.
That's what I was trying to decide.
That's fine. Arsenaling Terra Sunder is good.
I think I just cards.
No, you arsenal Terra Sunder. You need to chain your disruption together. You want tempo or not?
Oh, you shut your face.
You Seismic Surge.
I can't make a seismic surge, sir.
What do you mean you can't make a site? Why would you activate Bravo?
Why would you not activate Bravo?
Because he's brute. He only wants to play 1 attack action most turns anyway.
That's not true. Noble Claws
The only
have go
exception is
again.
when he has Blood Rush Bellow.
Yeah, well.
Those cards say nothing unless they have Blood Rush Bellow. Dominating Bravo's a trap.
I think it is under some circumstances. I don't think it was there. See, like, look, he just rolled scab scans.
Lucas is rolling in his grave right now,
Why?
watching you dominate Bravo there. I'm gonna hit you in the head if you block this.
I didn't block it, sir.
Also, I feel like this stream just became me criticizing your Bravo play, and I feel kind of bad.
No?
But just to kind of an input, Titan's Fist and Zealous Belting never want to exist in the same list while you're playing that. You only want to play Anathos with Zealous Belting.
Okay.
Because a 3-card 9 is not like... Oh, you forgot to Seismic Surge.
I did forget to seismic surge there.
A 3-card 9 is like standard value, like standard expected rate for Guardian. You want to aim for the 3-card 11s with Anathos. It's the go again one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if we had just blocked the other one with 2 cards, we would be saving 10 life. Why are you swinging hammer?
What else am I gonna do?
Play CNC.
No, it's bad. It's just no value.
You're at 1 life. You're not gonna see the CNC again, so you might as well play it. It's 6 damage is better than 4. Oh god. That is the worst outcome that it could have been. If you keep the Terror Sunder in your hand, you can rouse him. Most likely, if you crown away the card, but you do go to 1.
I go to 1, just die to a reckless swing.
Yeah, that is true. Don't forget your tech plating.
Yeah, well, thank you. What?
Wow, the balls on this guy. I was gonna say. Full on knowing he just fucking dies to pummel. Although playing a waste is kind of crazy. Why not Arsenal the Rouse?
I guess I'll go to Arsenal to rouse.
Oh, did he reckless swing you?
Yeah.
Alright. See if he's got it.
You done? Yeah, got there. Yeah, that's all that matters. Get there in the end. So
Let's up that misplays count by like 4.
there's like 1 misplay, just because I didn't play the way you
There's
wanted
2
it to be.
really big misplays.
It was 1 misplay of you wanted to play. You went to Arsenal the Rouse right there at the end. I do agree that
You
Arsenal the
didn't
Rouse
play
was
the
definitely the
CNC.
play. Do it?
You didn't-
No, there
you
was
didn't
no
play
need
the
to play the CNC.
What's the point of swinging hammer?
It's just
6
4
is greater than
damage.
4.
I mean, I
No.
guess. Yeah.
And you're not gonna see it again, so you might as well play it.
Yeah.
You forgot to make a tech play.
Okay,
silencer.
alright, fine. The tag plating and the rouse, I'll give you. Okay, we'll go to 5 misplays.
Wait, you're gonna give me the CNC either?
No, I'm not giving you the CNC. Fine, I'll give you the CNC. There you go. All that matters is we still won, okay? It may have been 3 misplays. It's past my bedtime. It's 11 o'clock, sir.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
So,
Well, I gotta hop out of Discord and then try to lay down.
it's understandable. Well, Smitty, as always, we've
You're-
appreciated.
What time do you normally end the stream at?
I usually play from 8:30 to like 10:30ish, somewhere around there.
Damn, that's like literally exactly during my raid hours.
Quit raid. There you go. That's the thing.
Alright, I'm on it.
Um,
That's the classic answer.
it's a classic answer. Quit raid.
Yeah.
So, all right, Smitty, will you take care, my man, and I will see you again soon. In the meantime, hopefully we can teach you about tempo.
Oh no. You can call me the not tempo player.
I'm gonna call you the not tempo player. That sounds great. So,
Alright.
all right, sir.
Easy, man.
I'll talk at you later. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for us as well. I'm gonna go See if my wife needs help with the baby. I can hear her crying. Maybe I should stay and play more. No, well, we appreciate you coming by. Hopefully you gained some insight about tempo and momentum. Disregard what Smitty's calling. Actually, no, he does bring up a very valid point. This game is, that was the whole reason why we're talking about it. This game is very complicated to evaluate tempo, but all I'm simply saying is looking at tempo to where you're looking at card advantage for you. Now, other people may tell you different things. Take it whatever's most beneficial for you, however you play the game. As you can see, I play the game a lot different than some other players. Not as good as them? Maybe? I don't know. But this is an individual game, so play it how you want to. But until then, we'll see you again next Tuesday at 8:30. You guys take care.